G'day, Keithy here, thanks for joining me. We're camping up at the beach that we came up to a few months ago. You might have seen it in a video up there where we found a bit of rubbish and cleaned the joint up a bit. Anyway, in today's video I wanted to show you a few basic camping hacks that you might already know, but yeah, some people might not know. So come in and we'll show you a few little hacks for camping that make life a little bit easier. Alright, so one of the first camp hacks that I want to show you is this offcut of shade cloth that we've got here. You can get it at Bunnings relatively cheap. You don't need to go and buy the most expensive shade cloth. In fact, for camping, probably the thinner the better, so the less protection the better. When it comes to sand, because you can use these as ground sheets, and sand will actually fall through that when you're at your camp on the beach, or even somewhere that's a little bit dusty or dirty. Very good for that. Another good thing, if you come up to the back of the car, I'll show you what we use it for. So we usually place it behind the wheel, and we have a shower that hooks up to the awning on the car, with a 12-volt pump in a 10-litre bucket. So you can stand on this and have your shower, and the water will fall through the shade cloth, so you won't end up getting dirty feet while you're having a shower. That's another little hack that we use this stuff for. As you can see over there, we've got a larger one that we use for the main camp. They're very handy and they're very easy to clean. You just get a little dust pan brush and you can brush them off. We've been up here for a few days, so we've got a little leaf litter and one else. That's hack number one. So hack number two, again, you probably already know this if you go on the beach a bit, but these sand pegs are really good for beach camping because, as you can probably hear, it's really windy down here. The good thing about the sand pegs is they're really hard to pull out of the sand. Unlike the steel pegs that you get with most tents or awnings, these ones don't just pull out when it gets a little bit windy. So last night we actually had a freak storm come through at about 10 o'clock. Heaps of rain, lots of wind with it. Nothing wrong with our little setup because we're using our sand pegs, but the bloke a couple of doors down from us, and by a couple of doors I mean about half a K down, actually lost his gazebo that he had set up for his shelter because he was using just the normal little steel pegs that come with the gazebo that he bought, and as soon as this storm came through it just blew it away. Simple little thing, and you can get them from most camping shops. I think even hardware stores sell these things, and they don't cost much. I normally keep a bag of about a dozen of them with me for times like this when you think it might get a little bit windy and the ground's quite soft. Very easy to hammer these in. Easy little hack. Righto, so the third hack, really easy if you've got a dual cab wagon like I do here with a split folding doors. You can make yourself a lovely little table, relatively cheap and easy. So most of them, they've got a carpeted section on the lower, and you know, if you cook or make coffee or do anything on them, you get a bit of sand or grit through the carpet. They're very hard to keep them clean. So what you can do, and what I've done here, is I've got some 4mm marine ply, cut it to the same size that the original carpeted section was, put a few bolts through there, and I put wing nuts on the top to secure it. So I made a little table for the back of my car. Now, if you haven't seen the tour video that I did, it's up in the top right hand corner of your screen now. I show this in a lot more detail, but I actually use this thing almost every time I go out because it's really good for space, and it means that I can still access my fridge, my drawers and everything, and cook on my little table, which comes with the car everywhere, and it takes up literally no space having this table in the car. Now, what I've used at this end is some shortened little tent poles in order to keep the height of it, to keep it level, and because they're adjustable, if you're on different level ground, you can adjust the poles to suit whatever height you need. And this car has air suspension, so that's also a good thing. If I have the car up, I can lengthen the poles. If it's down as it is now, I can shorten them. And you've got a lovely little table. So that's 4mm marine ply. So it's not going to bear a lot of weight. You wouldn't sit on it, but it's enough to cook. Have your water jug on. The kids love this. This is another good thing here too. If you have kids or pets, just a little 5-litre water jug with a tap is perfect for the kids. If they're thirsty, it's very easy for them to use. If they've gone to the toilet, they can wash their hands with it relatively easy. And then I also carry a 20-litre water jug. I actually carry 2 of them just to top that up when it gets low. 5 litres, that'll get you a fair while, but you've also got more there if you need to top it up. Alright, so this fourth one, this is for you coffee lovers out there. what we've got here is called the Mooka Express. It's by Belletti. I'll put the link up to the right hand side there at the top if I can do that with my YouTube settings or whatever jargon I've got going on there. This is a lifesaver if you love coffee. Essentially what it is, it can make cappuccinos or lattes depending on your preference. What you do is you put in your ground coffee, find a medium. You put in a measured amount of water. And if you look inside the top here, there's this line in here, that's where you put your milk up to that level. Now it's easy to clean this thing. You just got to pull the side of it up and turn it. You can clean inside there, inside here. You can pull these things apart here. You can see I've got the ground coffee on that already. Very, very easy thing to use. And you'll see he's got some good directions on that video if you take a look at that. So I love this because you can have coffee like that. It doesn't take anything to set up and it's very easy to clean. What we do when we're camping, we just rinse it all out. You don't have to give it a scrub. You get most of the coffee and whatnot residue off really easy. It's very easy to clean, very easy to use, especially at camping. So this is how you use this thing. First thing you do is you put your measured amount of water. It's got here for gas and for electricity or for electrical stovetops. Now I don't recommend using the electrical one because we have done that and found that it actually overflows. It's just a little bit too much water. So just use the gas level for your water when you're filling it up. And I'll do that now and we'll make a coffee. This coffee is life. There's a little bit much in there. Perfect. We get our water in. We've put our coffee grinds in here prior to making this video, but you can see there that is level with this thing. I know we've just cleaned up any excess coffee off the lip. This needed to be level and you don't pack it down, just nice and gently. Once you've done that, the top very easily screws on to the bottom section. You just do him up firm but not extremely tight, just like that. In goes your milk. Up to the line, remember, don't go any higher otherwise it'll boil over. There's our line because we're on a little bit of an angle there. That's perfection. Now if you want a latte, you leave this little top pulled up, but because we don't want a latte, we want a cappuccino, we push him down and then we put it on the gas. Another little camping hack, as you can hear it's very windy right now. The little cover for your stove is a perfect windbreak for these cookers. There we go, we can have a flame without it going out. So I'll turn that on now. When you're doing it, you use a medium heat on this only. If you use a really high heat, it boils too quick and it overboils essentially, and it can actually burn the coffee grinds as it goes through. So just a medium heat, and what you do is you'll hear it go click and bubble, 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 and that's your coffee made. Turn your gas off. So we'll come back to you when it's ready to pop. So when you're making your Belletti coffee, for the purpose of this demonstration, we have the lid up. Normally you would have the lid down, obviously, but this is the way that you can see inside there and see what actually happens inside when you're making your coffee. So it's at this point you turn the gas off. And there you have your lovely cappuccino. Let's put the lid down. Put him in his cup. Another good thing about this is you're actually getting a full cup of coffee here in your cappuccino. I can't draw swans very well, so I'm not going to attempt it. Enjoy. Alright, so that's a couple of camping hacks with Keithy. Thanks for joining in and watching that. I hope I've helped somebody out. You probably already know all this stuff anyway, but for those who haven't done this kind of thing before, it's extra handy stuff that you might not have thought about. Shout out to Alternative Brewing for the Mooka. That is the best thing ever for camping. It's like taking a little bit of luxury out camping, and who doesn't like a good coffee in the morning? And it doesn't take bugger all to make a coffee. It only takes about 3 or 4 minutes and she's done. Also, if you haven't already, you can check me out at Chilling with Keithy in between these videos. You can message me there. You can post some things up for yourself if you'd like. And go check that out. See what's happening. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.